the key is you. It's all about being accountable and taking responsibility for that direction that you want to go. And taking responsibility for that direction that you want to go certainly doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers in how to get there. That's why you have a coach. That's why you have somebody who can help you along. And so the most important question to ask yourself is that whatever it is in your life that sparks some form of initial enthusiasm, ask yourself the question, how am I going to respond when the enthusiasm dries up? Am I going to be coachable? Am I going to implement what's being taught? Or am I going to not do that and then point the finger at anyone but myself when something doesn't go right? Because you're not going to grow that way.
We've been having a little bit of rant type chats lately, Jayson, off the screen.
Yeah.
And so I thought we would kind of, a little mini rant maybe on the screen. And, recently we've been discussing coaching, but specifically like instances where, people who and get excited and embrace, whether it's the concept of the process or just getting started in, a different direction in their financial life. And whatever it is, life gets in the way or they just kind of lose their, I don't know if they lose their excitement or they just don't engage. And then time passes by because the time's going to go by anyhow. And then all of a sudden you're looking back and you realize, okay, there's a person that's they're not booking regular meetings. They don't attend any events. They're not engaging in their learning journey. They're not actively participating in trying to make the best financial life possible for themselves. And this does happen from time to time. And so, we were talking a little bit about, an analogy, I think that speaks to that. And, it comes up for me is like, New Year's goals of losing weight or whatever, people want to get healthy and well, what do? They first thing they do is they go sign up at the gym. And well, because I signed up at the gym, I'm going to go to the gym. And then they start going, they're excited and the excitement's there and they're doing it. It's like, oh, I really want to take this up a notch. I'm going to go hire a trainer. And then you go get a trainer or someone to help you out. And they're there for, a couple of weeks and they're yelling at you about doing push-ups or whatever you can do it, lifting weight or whatever it is you got going on there. And, you're feeling inspired, and then life comes around and it kicks you in the face a couple of times and you have a couple of bad days. You get a little overworked. There's a project, a deadline or whatever, and it kind of takes the wind out of your sails. And, then the family's sick. Maybe they're down with COVID or whatever. They got one of the nasty flus that's going around and you get taken out of the game a little bit. And then you wake up one day and you get all these messages from your trainers like, hey, you're supposed to be at the gym meeting me. Like you're 10 minutes late. Where the hell are you? Like what's going on? And then you just don't call the trainer back. You just like ghost that person and never respond to them ever again. Like that would be super weird. Right. If you really wanted to get your health goals achieved and you were having some success and you were moving forward and you were excited and then, life gets in the way for everybody. Like I've experienced that. Like we all get kicked in the proverbial nuts a couple of times. It's not okay to just leave that person that you've engaged with to try to help you and to give you mentorship and coaching and guidance and accountability and then just not respond to them anymore, to just completely like walk away from it all. And it's really, really disappointing when you see that happens for someone in their financial life. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things that we talk about is to be a really good coach, you have to, if you think about like a sports team, like if you really want to be a good coach, you have to really love your players. And if a player wants to be great, but they don't want to do all the things that the great ones did to become great, then why would there be an expectation of greatness? You've got to do the work. And to use your example, if you go to the gym, if you're just going there to go through the motions, that's a lot different than going there and actually loving it. Because that's what's going to create greatness. And in anything in life, it doesn't really matter what it is. We could literally describe anything. It's not because you're dealing with the human condition and you'd love to see everyone succeed. But the fact of the matter is that it's not going to happen. If you're not embracing the coaching or you're not implementing the process, then you shouldn't expect
you shouldn't expect anything other than a different outcome.
And it reminds me of something in Nelson's book, because you mentioned human conditions. And so this book, Nelson's book that we talk about all the time frequently, it's a gem. It just keeps on giving. And Nelson spends a lot of time. There's a big section of the book all about human conditions, 5 human conditions he discusses. One of the biggest ones, I think, is Parkinson's Law. And he starts off with Parkinson's Law on page 28 of the book. But, later in the book, he references it in a number of ways. And so he goes into an example of twin sisters where they're each setting up a system where they're going to finance all their cars throughout a lifespan. And they started at like age 21, and they put $5,000 in, and they didn't touch anything for 7 years. Well, Nelson did that intentionally. They could have been using money earlier, but he's specifically trying to teach the point that show me someone who will capitalize a system of anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Will understand the importance of capitalizing for 7 years. And I'll show you someone who's conquered Parkinson's Law.
Right.
And, I was talking with a couple of other teammates about this recently, and they, you go to a position where we live in an I want it now mentality in society. Everything that you need and is available at your fingertips and is buzzing at you 24/7. And, it's got your attention, but we have to, sometimes it takes us off that long range thinking. And so this concept, this lifestyle of infinite banking it's a lifestyle. It's something that you don't just like start and be like, oh, I'm going to test this out. Like, no, you're thinking about changing the way that you optimize cash flow as it runs through your life for the rest of your life. And ideally, like what we're going to talk about on this coming Saturday, we've got a client coaching session. We're going to talk about family banking. Ideally, you're going to take this lifestyle and you're going to teach and showcase and share that lifestyle with your family members or with people you love dearly that are important to you, that you also want to see succeed. And you're going to help them embrace the thinking that goes along with embracing that lifestyle, so that when you're gone and you've walked off planet Earth, or you're 6 feet under, or whatever the analogy you want to use, then there is something sustainable that lives beyond you of value. Now, if you don't have, spouse and kids or grandkids or whatever, if that's not your path, that's totally okay. But we meet people all the time. I haven't met anyone, Jayson, yet to this point in my life who doesn't care about something.
Right.
Whether it's the SPCA or protecting our national forests, like whatever the thing is. Maybe it's cancer research, or you had someone that that was impacted by MS. Like there's all kinds of valuable things that people care deeply about. And so if you have the ability to work with capital throughout your lifespan, work with more capital than you're going to put into a system, and also leave a boatload of it behind tax-free that the Canadian government can't get their hands on to support something you love dearly, whether it's family, extended family, or at some other important cause, why on earth wouldn't you do that?
Right. The key is you. It's all about being accountable and taking responsibility for that direction that you want to go. And taking responsibility for that direction that you want to go certainly doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers in how to get there. That's why you have a coach. That's why you have somebody who can help you along. And so the most important question to ask yourself is that whatever it is in your life that sparks some form of initial enthusiasm, ask yourself the question, how am I going to respond when the enthusiasm dries up? Am I going to be coachable? Am I going to implement what's being taught? Or am I going to not do that and then point the finger at anyone but myself when something doesn't go right? Because you're not going to grow that way.
There's another question I would say is also very important with that, Jay, and it's who's a lifeline that you can call? It's like, remember that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis?
Yeah.
Regis, right? And it's like, okay, you want to dial a friend, ask the audience, and you get like these 3 options. I'm like, well, who's someone that's a supportive force in your life, in that area of your life, when the going gets tough, that you can reach out to? When it comes to things in your financial life, ideally you want someone who's been a coach to you, who's supportive, who can help you provide some guidance. Maybe that you just need a swift kick in the pants to get your act together. Like sometimes we all need that, and someone who's willing to be a coach to you will help you with that. And that's part of what we try to implore doing for our clients at Ascendant. But I think that you have to recognize, in order to have the things that you want in life, to accomplish things you want in life, you can't get away from doing some hard work, and you can't get away from some activity, taking some activity. And the more that the more you realize, the more you understand what's possible, and you see things that are available to you outside of the fringe of your vision. It's like people will walk through life with those blinders on. You see the horses, like in horse races, they put that on there so that the horses don't recognize that there's someone beside them. They get all skittish and they're frantically trying to, flail around, and there's a whole big accident. Well, people are walking through life with that going on. But as soon as you crack those open and they can see all the stuff that's around them, you start to be exposed to a whole new way of thinking of financial opportunity. And the more and deeper you can see, it's like you're just going to the optometrist and you're saying, oh yeah, hey, your eyes are getting better. We can reduce your prescription. So you can see more crisp and more clear with things as you go. And that's part of what, the content, the video content we do in our podcast, those are things that we're trying to do to help give people more clarity and vision around their financial life and what's possible for them. And when you stretch the boundary of possibility in your life, it's amazing the ideas that can be generated in your head. I was in the shower this morning thinking about NFTs and all this stuff is going on with cryptocurrency, and recognizing that there's a whole legitimately a brand new world that's being invented right now as we speak. And there's things that we can't even comprehend that are going to be possible in that world around ways to generate wealth, hold and sustain it in some way. There's a whole host of things that are possible that are, mind-boggling to a degree. But I started having ideas. Okay, well, what would this look like? What would this look like? And 2 weeks ago, I wasn't thinking about that, but I've been listening to some new material and I'm exposed to more possibility than I had before. And so I'm just constantly interested to see how and watching it happen with people who are exposed to become your own banker. They read Nelson's book or they watch one of our podcast episodes, and then they're reaching out and they're saying, hey, I really like what you guys said about this, or I was reading Nelson's book and suddenly it dawned on me, I am paying for auto insurance, and I do have collision on my vehicle, but I already use my policy system to pay off my vehicle, and I've built up additional capital that I have the replacement value of that vehicle now available. I forgot about that. Maybe I should now look at getting a new policy, and I should be paying myself the premium to become self-insured for collision coverage. Right. What would that look like? And how would that add to my capital base? And if I'm doing it for me, well, then can I do it for my spouse? And if I'm doing it for a spouse, okay, well, when the kids need cars, now we've built up an entire capital reservoir for being the auto insurance, collision mechanism for the entire family. And all of that financial energy that used to walk out the door to some other insurance company is now coming back to one that you own and control. We don't see that necessarily. We might read it like, oh yeah, he said something about that. But then you read the book again and you're now at a mental space where it's all of a sudden like, boom, it clicks. Yeah. And like a whole sea of potential opens up for you. It was always there. The sea was always there. You just you weren't there standing on the beach looking at it the same way.
Yeah, it's very true. And it's always something new to learn if you're engaged. And that's the one thing about, it reminds me of the backward bicycle video, which would be great I don't know if there's a way for us to post a link to that somewhere, but
I got your back here. We'll get her.
The backward bicycle video is just a great way to emphasize, some of the really important truths around knowledge does not equal understanding. And I think that if my memory served me right, that's about an 8-minute video. So it's a quick watch, but it will impact your thinking and it will resonate with you. And so watch that video.
My job is to make,
and then watch it again. And so implementing a process and making a change, that takes time. It takes time to not only interrupt the pattern of what you were doing financially up to this point in your lifetime, but to also maintain and develop a new habit of doing things. And that's why it's so important, and Nelson emphasized it, rightfully so, that it's important to have a coach. But having a coach and working with your coach are two completely different things.